Yo, what is up, everybody? It's me, That One Weep here, back with a brand new video. And today we'll be covering what if Naruto was a Pokemon trainer. Now, for anyone who might be new to my channel, basically what this is a what if scenario where I take Naruto, the character from the anime Naruto, and place him in a situation by changing the story, the plot, abilities, etc. And today we'll be changing a lot. So I need to preface that this video is very different from my normal videos. I don't usually change the story and plot as much as I'm going to today, so I hope you guys understand that. And for anyone who's already watched the channel and is here from other videos, thank you for coming back and watching my video. If you like it and like the series, make sure to hit the like button. I will start working on part 2 once this video hits 300 likes. If you can do that, then we'll be getting a part 2 out sometime within the next week. Anyway, I hope you guys look forward to this and enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the comment section down below. But yeah, let's just get into part 1 for what if Naruto was a Pokemon trainer. So just to get a few things out of the way, just to make sure that the what if, I guess, goes smoothly and everyone understands what's going on. This what if will be taking place in the Naruto world. So the same world that the original events conspire in, except I'll be changing the plot and some of the major power systems slash abilities. So since Naruto is a ninja anime, most of them fight by themselves, so the concept of them having Pokemon is kind of useless. So in order for me to actually make this work so Naruto doesn't just bomb them with Kurama, Snorlax attacks and then Kurama uses Bijou Bomb and it's just dead, you know? It's not really effective, so that wasn't on purpose. But basically, in order to make this series actually fun and interesting to watch, I will be removing chakra effectively from the equation. So instead of having shinobi physically themselves battle, instead we're going to have the 5 villages all be raised with kids who are going to be professional Pokemon trainers. So in this world, we're going to have wondrous world of Pokemon, of these beasts with their own power. And the way that this is going to work is I'm going to say that the monsters have chakra, which is how they actually do their attacks and elemental things, but humans don't. So I'm going to say that Naruto, in this world, no one has actual chakra besides the monsters themselves, but they have created the technology to capture the monsters and use them and befriend them to fight other monsters. This will be how Naruto and I guess the rest of his class and everyone in Konoha and the other villages is going to become strong and do missions. So missions are still going to be a thing because there's still a lot of stuff, even more problems in this world, since now they have to deal with monster and kaiju attacks too, alongside just normal people being assholes. Anyway, we'll be getting into it pretty soon. So now you guys know, I guess TLDR, Naruto, no Rasengan, but new Pokemon have Rasengan. And that's pretty much it. I'm not trying to be demeaning or anything either. I just thought about that. This is pretty much an unscripted session since I didn't think about that I needed to explain this until I just started recording. I'm like, wait a minute. But that is 2.5 minutes of me purely talking, so I'm sorry you had to listen to that. So now listen to the rest of the video of me purely talking with the actual story, which we'll get into right now. Naruto would be born in a similar fashion as the Hokage, aka one of the Elite 5, those being the strongest Pokemon trainers in this world. The 5 great leaders of their own nations. Minato Namikaze, the man whose Pokemon have the highest speed count ever, with all of his Pokemon's EV stats and their speed being off the charts, so much so that it's like they're teleporting. Minato would have a full barrage of Pokemon, and he would have 6, might I add. All 6 of them would be trained in speed, and I'll introduce those Pokemon going forward, if I can. Minato would be waiting aside his wife, unlike everyone else in the Pokemon universe whose dads left 15 years before they were born. Minato would be waiting as Naruto's day would be here, A reason that they had to be secretive about Naruto being born was because Kushina was pretty much left defenseless without being able to use any of her Pokemon in this state, obviously. And Kushina also happened to be a very important person, possessing a specific type of Pokemon within a ball, that being a Master Ball, which was a highly specifically developed Pokemon ball to capture abnormally strong chakra-filled Pokemon. That being that of the mega-evolved nine-tailed fox, which would have attacked Konoha multiple years ago when Hashirama Senju, one of the first people ever to actually create the Pokeballs, would have captured it, along with the other specially evolved beasts, which, like no other Pokemon had ever been seen to be similar to. This would be when the Akatsuki would attack. The Akatsuki would still be a thing in this world, since it's not exactly that far off to say that they would effectively be the same terrorist group, similar to like how Team Rocket would act in the Pokemon universe, except more evil and trying to still achieve their goal of the infinite Tsukuyomi, which I'll get into in the future. Anyway, as Obito would attack the village, he would then be one of the first people to outspeed one of Miyato's Pokemon. Miyato would barely sense him in time as he then throws a Pokeball out, as Obito would challenge him. Obito would throw out his own Pokemon, summoning a Dragonite. Dragonite, huh? Miyato would think. Fine then by me, Miyato would say, as he would smile through his teeth, excited for this battle, sensing that this was a strong opponent. Kushina would scream out for Miyato to be careful, as this masked trainer would suddenly begin to attack the Hokage. Minato would then use Ninjask as he uses Silver Wind, Dragonite charging towards it. Ninjask would evade using his speed, and Minato would be directing Ninjask, keeping his eyes on Dragonite and Ninjask, with him actually able to see the speed himself. Minato would then direct the Ninjask, as Dragonite would not have any way to catch up, taking significant damage. At around half his HP points, Dragonite would turn back towards Obito, its master, as Minato would begin to think that this might be someone rather strong, not having seen someone with a Pokemon that could last this long against his Ninjask. This would be when Obito would then use his Sharingan. When Minato sees his eye turn red, he'd be shocked, remembering Madara Uchiha. Madara being one of the only trainers to have a unique ability that has been affected by chakra, which most humans weren't affected by besides specific clans. This chakra allows them to see the opponent's Pokemon and actually read it and scan its chakra to see what moves and abilities it has learned. This is allowing Obito to see all of Ninjask's moves that it knows, and it would allow him to predict and see what Minato would do. Minato's battle would get tougher as Dragonite would land a shot, using Hyper Beam, blasting the entire area. Minato would quickly grab Kushina, as well as now baby Naruto, as they get out of there, getting out of the now exploded landscape. Kushina would be clutching the Master Ball, which carries the legendary Pokemon inside, the Ninetales, uniquely named Kurama. Kurama would be looking around inside his Pokeball as he could sense some of the destruction outside, grunting. With Kurama being one of the only 9 Pokemon in the world, which were legendary types, that could actually speak in human tongue. Kurama would growl to Kushina, saying that she should let him fight, with Kurama saying that he'll rip them all up and then escape this damn prison, with Kurama obviously not being happy being trapped inside his Pokeball. Kushina would sigh as she then tells Kurama again for the now infinite time that she's said this, that she can't release Kurama from the Pokeball, saying he's too valuable to the Leaf Village. Kurama would lay his head down inside the Pokeball, grunting as he says he's going to sleep. Obito would actually be keeping up with Miyato, surprisingly, as the two have now moved into the forest, with Obito having re-summoned another Pokemon, his Dragonite having been barely defeated, yet now Miyato's Ninjask being on almost 1 HP left. Ninjask wouldn't be able to do much more, and he didn't want his Pokemon to faint, so he would summon him back as well. Miyato would then summon one of his legendary Pokemon, and fittingly it would be Zapdos, with his nickname, the Yellow Flash, still retaining. Zapdos being his most powerful Pokemon would then come to face Obito's most powerful Pokemon. Obito would then summon his own legendary Pokemon, a Pokemon passed down to him from Madara before he passed away, that Pokemon being Giratina. What the? Minato would be shocked. One of the 3 primordial Pokemon gods. This has to be.
That's the power of Madara Uchiha. Madara, using his own Sharingan ability and using his Pokemon's chakra and power, would have broken through the wall of space and time to have summoned Giratina many years ago. He would have captured him with the aid of Hashirama, but when he betrayed the village, he would have left, taking Giratina with him. Hashirama was only able to succeed due to the help of multiple of his other legendary Pokemon, which had now, after their master's death, spread back into the wild, now never to be captured again, at least for now. Minato would use Zapdos as he tries to use a Thunderbolt, quickly attacking with lightning against Giratina, but he would know it's pretty much over. So there's only one last thing he could really do. As Giratina would one-shot his Zapdos, taking it out almost instantly, his Zapdos would faint, falling to the ground. Minato would only have one last bargain, as he would then pull out another Pokeball. Before he can though, Obito would take this opportunity to make a run for it, as he would use Giratina and phase out of existence, moving back down to a different plane before returning aside next to Kushina, grabbing the Master Ball, holding one of the most powerful Pokemon captured by the first Hokage, that being the strongest, the unique evolution of Ninetales, Kurama. This would be when the Ninetales would be summoned, with the huge monster being released with Obito's whim. Kurama would roar as flames would begin to cover the village, as he began to release his wrath, with now Obito using Giratina's power to control the Ninetales, using it along with his Sharingan to attack and destroy the village. Multiple Pokemon be sent out as we see Blastoises blasting water at the huge creature, but its overwhelming firepower would just decimate them, as the village was going to die. Minato knew there was only one thing he could do, as Obito would be forced to lead the village, with now the third Hokage preparing to arrive, with his own powerful Pokemon being multiple highly evolved and leveled up Infernapes. With Obito deciding to get out before anything dangerous can happen, like getting barraged by a ton of Infernape fire attacks, he would leave with Giratina, allowing the Ninetales to make rampage before commanding it one last command after it was done destroying the village to meet up with him. After he issued the command, he would leave, but as he leaves, Minato would achieve one last thing in his life, as he would then pull out a lone red and dusty Pokeball, a Pokeball of a Gengar. As he uses Gengar, he would see the Ninetales. As it was about to destroy the entire Leaf Village, he would summon Gengar, and as the Bijou Bomb would be blasted towards the village, Minato would then use Gengar's Destiny Bond move. This move would kill the Pokemon and its user. With Gengar already being dead, the Pokemon would connect its soul with its master, as Minato would take the full impact of the Ninetales' power. This killing both Minato and the Gengar, along with Ninetales fainting. As Minato would fall to the ground, he would pass away, as Kushina would still survive in this timeline due to the Reaper Death Seal not being a thing, and Minato using a final Destiny Bond in order to kill off the Ninetales temporarily. The Ninetales would faint from this, but it wouldn't kill it like it would the Gengar and Minato, due to the nature of the move. This would be when Kushina would see the horror, as she would have to reclaim the Master Ball that had been left there. Obito would be shocked, as Kushina would actually take the Master Ball and then reseal the Ninetales while it was unconscious. Damn. Obito would decide that he'd need to take the Ninetales last, deciding to go after different legendary beasts from other villages. Obito would leave with Giratina, going into the opposite anti-world, where Giratina reigned as king. Kushina would see her baby son Naruto, as she'd be forced to raise him by herself, with Minato having sacrificed himself for the good of the village. The third Hokage would take back placement up as now leader, and this time Naruto wouldn't actually be hated by the villagers. Due to Minato's sacrifice and Kushina still being alive, Naruto himself wouldn't actually be blamed for the Ninetales attack, since 1, Kushina's alive, and 2, the Ninetales is not sealed inside of him. So Naruto and Kushina are pretty regular with them being each other's family. Kushina would have told Naruto all about Minato, his dad, who is one of the greatest Pokemon trainers in the land. In fact, there would actually be an academy at the Leaf Village which Naruto would be attending soon, which would begin training and explaining the basics of Pokemon. Kushina had already decided that once Naruto graduated, she would entrust the Ninetales and the Master Ball with him, making him the next Jinchuriki of the Ninetales in this case. Naruto throughout his entire life would hear all about the feats of the Great Yellow Flash and his multiple legendary speed Pokemon. Naruto would decide that he himself wanted to become a Pokemon master, even greater than his dad was, and one day even become the Hokage. One day, while Naruto's walking out by himself with Kushina at home having called out for him to come home for dinner, Naruto would be looking around as he would see a young Hinata getting bullied, as the two boys would have summoned two Rattatas to attack her. It would be at this point that Naruto would jump in front of the way, taking the bare brunt of the Rattata's scratch attacks, as he gets scratches on his face, this leaving whisker marks, as you could say, from the faded lines on each side. He would turn around with blood on his face as he asked if she was alright, with the two boys being shocked that he would willingly get attacked by Pokemon. Naruto would tell him to run away, as the two would realize who he was, being the fourth Hokage's son. They'd apologize and run off as fast as they could, with Hinata watching in awe. Naruto would sigh as he turns, thinking, "Ow, that hurt." Hinata would ask what his name was, with her obviously still being sheltered by the Hyuga clan. Naruto would turn as he would say his name is Naruto Namikaze. Yeah, that's another thing I should add, is that Naruto in this version is still very proud of his father's achievements, and Kushina would have told him a lot about his dad, so he goes with his father's last name, since there's still no real point in hiding it, since Kushina's alive. So Naruto would be Naruto Namikaze in this version. Naruto would wave to Hinata as he says he's gonna get home, as Hinata would then head back to her house herself, thinking, Naruto. Naruto would actually be liked by a lot of the girls in his future academy class, including Sakura and Ino, with a majority of the girls in the class already knowing that Naruto would become a big trainer when he would be older, just like his dad was. This is actually an interesting point in my opinion, where Naruto, who had respected his own father for most of his life because of his mom and hearing about him, would begin to feel overshadowed by Minato. Now, I'm not saying that he ends up like Boruto, being a brat or anything, but he definitely has the drive to try and become better than Minato, with Minato seeming like this looming figure over him that will make all his achievements seem like he could have done better. Naruto would actually have another person in his class who had similar results, that being a traitor of the leaf, Itachi Uchiha's younger brother Sasuke. Sasuke's older brother Itachi was also one of the best Leaf's trainers, with him using multiple psychic Pokemon to an intense level. Itachi being a psychic Pokemon master would have almost become worthy of Hokage status, and had actually joined the Anbu Black Ops, which would be full of masters of different types of Pokemon. That is, before Itachi had slaughtered the rest of the Uchiha family beside his younger brother and left the village. Sasuke would have been physically and psychically horrified as he saw his family members being murdered before his eyes, with Itachi using a Pokemon he had never seen before. A Pokemon with eerie, pale skin. It looked inhuman, but humanoid at the same time. This Pokemon that Sasuke doesn't know about would have immense psychic power, and he hadn't told anyone about it. Itachi had warned him that if he did so, then he would come back and hunt him down. Little does this Sasuke know that what Itachi had used that day was the last gift from his dear friend Shisui, a Pokeball he had taken from the root Anbu, that being the creation of Danzo, being Mewtwo. Anyway, we'll get back to Mewtwo and Itachi later. For now though, know that Sasuke and Naruto are still rivals, with both of them having huge looming shadows of successful Pokemon trainers over them. With the rest of the class now learning about Pokemon and typings, Iruka would be teaching them how water and fire and all the other typings would be effective against each other, explaining how lightning types wouldn't be able to affect earth types, how rock types versus flying types, and all the like. With Naruto learning about the typings of Pokemon as well as their weaknesses, he would also learn about super potions, revives, and other now scientific ninja tools, as you would say in this world, or the trainer tools used to revive and assist your Pokemon that exist. This would be when Iruka would explain that through missions as well as helping out people around the world, you can earn money as well as buy more items so that eventually you can level up your Pokemon and get them stronger. Level up? Sakura would ask, raising her hand like an idiot. This would be when Iruka would then sigh, thinking this was the most basic point. The Pokemon of this world have a level system, to say. At least, what we found is that after a certain point of different battles, once they get enough experience, some Pokemon can evolve into higher levels of themselves. such as Squirtle evolving into a Wartortle or into a Blastoise. This would be when Naruto would ask the question that everyone in class was thinking about. Iruka-sensei, what about legendary Pokemon? Iruka would begin to explain the history of where the legendary Pokemon came from and how it affected this world. He would explain about the god of Pokemon, that being Arceus, the Pokemon that had actually created chakra. Think an equivalent to the Sage of Six Paths, but with Pokemon. This would actually be the first Pokemon to come into contact with what we know as the Sage of Six Paths, being the first ever Pokemon trainer. Arceus would bless some of the humans with a little bit of chakra, allowing them to be able to actually see and witness chakra, as well as almost speak with their own Pokemon. Arceus had created this system in order for Pokemon and humans to befriend each other, before he had mysteriously disappeared one day. Naruto and the others would be in awe as they continue to listen, with Iruka explaining more history nonsense. Sasuke would be listening, but he'd be pretty bored, thinking only about his revenge, the hatred inside him bubbling. After a while and a few more classes, it would be time for everyone to get their first Pokemon. Most of them would get one from their parents, as well as some teams that their families had used before, or family Pokemon, but most people were encouraged to start their own team. And this would be when Iruka would take them out into the back area, out into the grasslands near the Leaf Village, as people would begin to capture their own Pokemon. Naruto would be out walking when Kushina would then run up to him, giving him his first ever Pokeball, that being a weird purple ball with an M on it. Kushina would have told him by himself that this Pokeball is very important and it should only be used if he truly needs to awaken a power that will defeat any Pokemon. Kushina would then brush her son's hair, as Naruto would still be a bit confused, not knowing exactly what this meant. He'd think it was cool though, as he then puts it along with his other Pokeballs. Naruto would find a few more Pokemon, but he didn't find any of the types he really wanted. That is, until he eventually found an injured Pokemon. Naruto would be by a river now, alone from the rest of the group, as we would hear a faint croaking sound. Yep, that's right, the first official member of Naruto's team would be Froakie. Naruto would see a wild Froakie as he'd be shocked, remembering it from his class. A rare Pokemon! Naruto would be excited, as suddenly he could hear Sasuke coming closer. I gotta hurry! Naruto would quickly throw a Pokeball, as Sasuke would see the Froakie disappear, as he now runs forward trying to steal the Pokemon before Naruto can take it. Damn it, Sasuke would say. Give me that Pokemon. Trade with me right now, Sasuke would say. This would be when their first battle would begin, as Sasuke would throw out an Eevee he had caught, also another rare type Pokemon from earlier. An Eevee, huh? Naruto would say. Naruto, knowing that his now new Froakie was injured, wouldn't want to hurt it, as he decides that this is the perfect time to use it. Naruto would pull out his own Pokemon ball that Kushina had given him, this being the purple Master Ball. When Sasuke sees this, he would be wondering what type of Pokeball is that? What kind of Pokemon could it have? As Naruto would throw out the Pokeball, a Vulpix would appear. Suddenly, Kurama would be aghast as he realizes that, oh no, you didn't. Kushina had reset his level to level up alongside Naruto. Using the Master Ball function, she basically put a limiter on Kurama so that way Naruto wouldn't destroy the entire planet whenever he used it. Kurama would be pissed as he turns around talking in a deep voice in a Vulpix body, screaming at Naruto, telling him to put him away right now. He refuses to be seen like this. Eevee, use tackle! Sasuke would command his Eevee as it would run forward as it then tackles Vulpix. Well, Kurama, I should say. Kurama would grunt as he says, cheeky brat. Kurama would access some of his power using flames as he would shoot an Ember Blast, this being much more powerful than a level 1 Vulpix would usually be able to use, as an Ember would actually blast Eevee away, taking over half its HP. Sasuke would be shocked as he uses his Sharingan now one Tomoe after Itachi had jarred it awake and awakened his own Sharingan using trauma from his psychic types. Sasuke could read the Vulpix's movements, as well as seeing what moves it had. Its base stats are way too high, Sasuke would be thinking. There's no way that's just some normal Vulpix. You're cheating somehow. What, are you boosting it in some way? Sasuke would ask Naruto. Naruto would laugh, saying, this Pokemon's all mine, and Sasuke, you're going down. I'm gonna prove that between the two of us, I'm way better than you are. Yeah, right, Sasuke would say. Bring it on! Naruto would then command his Vulpix, telling him to use Ember. Kurama, in a Vulpix form, would turn its head and humph, basically declining as he walks towards the Pokeball and re-seals himself within it, not daring to be able to be seen in this puny form any longer. Naruto would be shocked as Sasuke automatically wins the battle. Naruto would refuse to give Froki over to Sasuke, and just as the fight was beginning to ensue, some of the other classmates of Naruto's class would begin to move towards it more into the forest, along with Haruka seeing Naruto and Sasuke battling. Hey you two, no battling yet. We haven't even gone to sparring yet or learning how to command your Pokemon properly. Stop it right now, Haruka would say. Sasuke would sigh, saying he would have beat Naruto easily, as Naruto would grit his teeth, telling him he'll take him on next time for sure. Naruto would look down the purple Pokeball, thinking, what is this Pokemon? Deciding he'd have to ask his mom later. Naruto would then go home with Haruka breaking up the fight, and Sasuke and Naruto's now rivalry officially beginning. Naruto, before heading home, would take Froki to the Pokemon Center, as he would get it healed by Nurse Joy, one of the nurses in the multiple great nations all around the world at this point who healed Pokemon. Naruto would be really worried about it, as he wonders what could have happened to it. Froki would have been healed, and as Naruto would summon him, Froki would be extremely happy to see its new master, having saved him from almost near death. Froki would jump up on Naruto's head, as Naruto would be super happy, smiling, saying that he's going to make him the strongest Pokemon ever, as Naruto would hug his new Froki. Naruto would head home as he shows his mom his new Pokemon, with her being seriously proud of her son for actually capturing his first Pokemon. Naruto would say what he had used her Pokeball for in his battle of Sasuke, and Kushina would be shocked, and also laughing, as Naruto would be confused what she means, asking why the Vulpix can talk. Kushina would be giggling as she tells Naruto not to worry about it, and that this Vulpix isn't just a normal Vulpix, it's actually a Ninetales. Huh? Naruto would say. That makes no sense, it doesn't even have 9 tails. Kurama inside the Pokeball would be grunting, is now cursing at Kushina. Kushina would be laughing her head off, as she decides this was definitely the right time. After the tears had stopped coming, Kushina would decide to tell Naruto one other rule. Now that you have your own Pokemon, Naruto, I don't want you to rely on using that Vulpix anymore. Huh? Why? Well, it can be a bit dangerous, and the settings that I apply to that Pokeball won't last for long. And when you go on your Pokemon journey, as you level up, the limiter that I set onto him will slowly break. If he becomes too much for you to handle, I don't know what would happen to you. Kushina would be worried as Naruto says he'll be fine, saying he and Froki can take anyone on. Kushina would smile, saying, anyway, make sure to keep him safe, but also make sure to keep building your team. Kushina would pat her son on the head, who at this point is now 9 years old, with only a few years left before they actually become official Pokemon trainers. And so would begin, in just a few years' time, the journey of the Pokemon trainer Naruto Namikaze. If you guys liked this part for What If Naruto Was a Pokemon Trainer, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. This is very fanfiction-y, so I hope you guys understand what I'm going for. And if you don't like this kind of video style, I have other videos on the channel. Make sure to check those out if you want to. Most of my videos are not like this. I don't really change the plot and the entire power system of a story like this very often, but I thought this would be a really interesting topic. And if you guys want more lore about how this is going to work, and Arceus and Hashirama and all that stuff, I will be getting into that and more in the future. Anyway, thank you guys so much for waiting for this, and I will be posting What If Subaru was Sukuna's Vessel Part 5 very soon, along with What If Asta was Meliodas' son. Thank you so much for the wait. Make sure to check out the stream coming out on Saturday, August 21st. I'll see you guys. I'm going to be playing some Valorant. Have a good one. See you guys later. Bye.